You see, my gorgeous Pisces, the 16th of July 2019, it's going to bring a wonderful, beautiful, a very significant inspiration into your life. This inspiration that you are going to have, it's going to be so important because it's going to be the start of something really big, and it's also at the same time it's going to give you a wonderful opportunity to step back from the situation and just look at your life from a slightly different angle. This is so important because this is going to be the beginning of something new. This is going to be the beginning of something really significant, but you're also going to, on one hand, rediscover something about yourself, but on another hand, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your relationships, there is also going to be a different realization that you are going to have that is also going to make so much sense when it comes to this particular realization that you are going to have. This is going to be an important moment and an important time, but especially when it comes to the actual whole month of July. This is going to be the time, this is going to be the month when it's not only going to be like a really important beginning going to happen to you, but an option, an opportunity that you are going to have. It's most certainly going to be absolutely life-changing, because on one hand it's going to give you courage to do something that you wanted to do in a really long time, because you're going to be able to see the situation from a completely different angle. So therefore there is going to be like a completely different realization, and that in itself is going to be your power. That in itself is going to be your strength, and most certainly you are going to have a control over situation. You're going to have a strength, you're going to have a confidence, you're going to have a power to do something that you wanted to do in a really long time. What else I was going to say, that on this particular day, you can expect actually to do something quite unusual, but especially when it comes to you, and especially when it comes to things that you do, and especially when it comes to things that you like, this particular day, it's going to make you feel drawn towards doing something unusual, towards doing something different, towards doing something like adventurous, something that you wanted to do in a really long time, something that you wanted to try in a really long time, but you were just waiting for the right moment, you were just waiting for the right time. The beauty of this month is also going to be the fact that when you're going to realize, like spiritually, this is going to be a powerful month, because you're going to realize that, when it comes to so when it comes to certain timing, and when it comes to the certain points, that you need to pay attention to, but especially it's just really important to realize that we need to be patient, and we need to be patient. It's just so important to come to the end, to make sure that you do your task, to make sure that you go right until the end of your particular spiritual journey. And when you do that, once you do that, your spiritual journey, your spirit is going to evolve to a whole different level, and that in itself is going to be the beginning of something really big. That is going to be the beginning of something really huge. Basically, the whole new inspiration is going to come on this day. The whole new inspiration is going to happen on this day. You're actually going to be going through your own transformation. You're going to be going through your own transition, and this is just so important, because this is also going to be the beginning, like a rebirth, your own literally rebirth. And also energetically, this is going to be a wonderful day, and also there is a certain challenge that you will be able to do. There is a certain challenge that you will want to do that is connected to this particular situation, and a wonderful, beautiful, ever so powerful energy that is actually going to come from it and happen from it. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Pisces, and it's for July 2019. So it's for you, my gorgeous Pisces, and it's for July 2019. Your number this month is, prepare for it, hey, number 7. I'm so excited, I'm delighted, and you're Pisces, you're deep, you're powerful, you're emotional, you're sensitive. You can swim very, very deep when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your own personal power. Therefore, you're able to see things and to connect to things from a completely different place than the rest of the signs, okay? So basically, what I want to say to you, that number 7 is going to be a really important number when it comes to you, my babies, because look, it's July, number 7, and then you have your number in numerology, which is number 7. So you have 77. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable, which means that there is going to be the double situation. There's going to be two situations that are literally going to change your life. Two situations are going to inspire you. Two situations are going to change your life. Two different situations, two different people are going to play an important role. And also, most certainly, an advice from somebody who is really important to you, an advice from somebody who you really love, an advice from somebody who you really like, an advice from somebody who you really know. It's going to become very significant here indeed. Also, letter E, it's going to be quite important when it comes to this particular situation. The bottom line is that the actual advice that you're going to have through this particular person is going to be something that is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and it can only come and it can only happen, it can only manifest from someone, through someone who you know really, really well. On another hand, what else number 7 means? Number 7 is a number that is very much so in touch with your angels, in touch with your spirituality, in touch with your spiritual guides, and it's also going to enhance your third psychic eye. It is absolutely wonderful number, and it's also, I would like to say to you that actually if you could have number 7 in your pocket, number 7 written in your hand, number 7 written in a little piece of paper, number 7 maybe on a little pendant, on a little ring, on a little chain or something, as long as you have number 7, I highly suggest you to wear number 7 throughout the months, whether it's going to be in your pocket or whether it's going to be like like a pendant or whatever. It's just so important to have this number, because this number has its own energy. Every single number has got its own power. Every single number has got its energy. So this number has got its energy, specific energy that you're going to benefit from, especially in July, throughout this month, because it's going to help you to attach to this energy even more. So therefore, you don't miss any opportunities. And on the other hand, therefore, you also are able to see things crystal clear. This is so important. Number 7 also means that the new plan that you're going to have is going to be probably one of the most significant things you have done ever in your life. This new plan comes, it's basically, you can split in two things. It's just in two ways, something that you want to do, but also it's just like, it's like a challenge, and it's like a challenge where you need to be like a really, basically, you need to be really brave, and you need to keep on being really creative, and just follow your bliss, follow what you want to do, follow what you want to do, follow where you want to be. You see, make sure that you are just stick to the actual what you do and just go for it. Number 7 also means that these new plans are going to come with a little bit of tricks, a little bit of tricky situations where you're going to come across this month when you're going to feel like, oh my God, Lord, you're going to feel really tired. It is also going to be the point when you're going to feel really low, when you're going to feel really down. This is all part of it, my babies. This is all part of it, because this is an important time of rejuvenation, an important time when the energy is just going to be changing so much, and that's why you're just going to be the part of the different journeys, these different situations, and you're going to be tested, but in the best possible way, because by the time we get to the actual August, there is the whole new opportunity that is going to become ridiculously evident, that you're already going to start like working towards, and you're already going to be able to feel it, see it, sense it in a completely different way. These new plans that you are going to have is just going to be so important, because it's like kind of connected to the certain part of your life that it was kind of attempted, but maybe it wasn't the right moment, it wasn't the right time. So now your time is coming. This is so important, because socially this is going to be like, oh my Lord, an important month because of that. When it comes to your relationships, this is going to be an important month when it comes to that. And also, it's just all about the actual certain money. The money is going to become very evident, the money is going to become very significant, and there is some kind of like an extra money that you are going to have, whether this is going to be an inheritance, or whether somebody is going to come through and just let you know, whether it's going to be like some kind of money that was owed to you. However, this money is going to come through, this money is going to come forward, and that in itself is also going to allow you to go down the road that you wanted to go, and to do something that you kind of wanted to do that required a certain amount of money in order for you to get there. Very important, because let me tell you, my gorgeous Pisces. Now, this month it's really important because it's all about your own transformation. This month you will transform yourself. This month you will transform your life. This month you will transform everything that you have done so far. You're also gonna be like very busy. You're also going to be very active. You're gonna be like a little busy bee. You're going to be like absolutely everywhere. You're going to be doing lots of changes. You're going to be making lots of changes, and suddenly you will want to work on your problems, you will want to work on emotional issues, but also you will want to suddenly, you will feel very strong connection in order for you to do lots of changes when it comes to home, but especially when it comes to your immediate environment where you work, and especially when it comes to like bringing certain things into your home as well. This is just going to be an important time, an important month, because it's all about your own personal transformation, clearing away the old to make a way for the new indeed. What else I was going to say is just that basically it is just going to be an interesting month, but what I would say to you that to not to invest when it comes to money, when it comes to money, when it comes to investing into something big, do not invest this month. It is not going to be the best month. August is going to be completely different, but if you can avoid any kind of investment throughout this month, I would ask you nicely, please, try to avoid as much as you can. But if you can't avoid, then at least prepare yourself and at least get like something like a black obsidian and have a black obsidian with you. It's absolutely brilliant in combination with tiger's eye. You see, black obsidian and tiger's eye, I highly suggest you to get both of these crystals, to get both of these pendants and to have them, to wear them throughout July 2019. It is going to be very significant for you indeed, and it's also going to help you against negativity, against negative people. Couple of people are going to be like a little bit jealous, and when that happens, they create a negative energy, and that sends negative energy towards us, and sometimes they do it intentionally, sometimes they don't do it intentionally. However, this amount of negative energy goes towards us, is directed towards us, and then it's just kind of, it can drain our energy a little bit. So that's why I'm saying it's just so important for you to wear this either together at the same time, and maybe you can have a one around your neck, one in your pocket, or both of this around your neck, or you can maybe like just alternate them. 1 week you wear black obsidian, 1 week you wear like a tiger's eye. But I would highly suggest you, because of the complexity of your situation, I would highly suggest you to wear both of these together and to get them as soon as possible and wear them throughout the actual July. They both come with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and in order to buy them, the link is in the description below, and by buying them you're also supporting my channel as well. If you can't buy both of them together for whichever reason, then I would highly suggest you to get like black obsidian. Okay, black obsidian. If you can get only one, then black obsidian, but if you can get both, then I would get the combination of both indeed. Okay, so now what else I was going to say, that basically, when it comes to your health, you see it's like the shoulders. I'm keep on seeing your sensitive shoulders now, especially the left shoulder seems to be more sensitive. Get somebody to give you a little bit of a massage, but also make sure that you sit in the correct way. Make sure that you sleep in the correct way. Make sure that you sleep on a side with a really nice big pillow, with a massive pillow in between your legs as well. It's just so important because it's going to relax your lower back, but at the same time this is going to relax your shoulders in such a way that they wouldn't normally be relaxed if you don't sleep with like a really big pillow in between your legs. So that's why I'm saying this is just so important. On another hand, it's just basically the combination of the spirulina. I recommend the spirulina so many times. I'm addicted to these things, and I take spirulina myself every single day. In fact, whatever I recommend, I have taken or have tried or I'm taking. So when it comes to spirulina is a must-have. We live in a world where we get affected by so much is going on, and also like maybe the food is not perfect, the food is not the best. What's organic, it's like not even as organic as it used to be. Many years ago everything changed. You see, the food changed, the flavor, the taste, everything changed. You wonder why, but I'm just saying that's why we just have to make sure that we connect to these things that are giving us goodness. So you see, when it comes to you, it's going to be like a little bit of tiredness that you're going to have throughout the month, a little bit of drainage, and that's why the combination of spirulina, sea algae, sea vegetables that I'm absolutely obsessed about, spirulina, and acerola cherry powder. Acerola cherry powder is going to help you like to boost your immune system. Acerola cherry powder, you get organic one, okay, organic acerola cherry powder is going to help you to boost your immune system, but spirulina is going to help you with energy, and it's also going to help you with the digestion and your stomach, because I know your stomach is going going to be like quite sensitive. So that's why I'm recommending you this combination. So it's acerola cherry powder and spirulina tablets. It needs to be organic. Both of these things needs to be organic, and they also need to be natural. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, I need you to check with your doctor. I need you to check with your GP, because only your doctor or only your GP are going to be able to tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. But it's just something that I highly recommend you to actually get. Okay, so going on the first date, my gorgeous Piscelini, is basically going to be on the 3rd of July. Now, the 3rd of July is going to be important because there is going to be the big change that you will be aware of. The big change is going to start at home. It's going to happen from home, but it's really good. It's really happy, and it's really pleasure, and it's going to give you joy. And certain things are also going to make sense, and certain things that you didn't understand or you couldn't get why they were happening. Now, most certainly, this is going to be the whole new feeling that you are going to have, and it's also something that is connected to you, something where you had an input, and now this is all bouncing back to you karmically. This is wonderful. You're going to feel really vavavoom, like really cocky in the best possible way. You're going to feel quite good in the best possible way, but also you're going to feel a great honor. People are going to look up to you, and people are going to be like, wow, you know, you're going to feel really proud of yourself, and other people are going to feel proud of yourself. And now that particular energy is just going to be so good, because this is something that you waited for a long time. This is something that you waited for a while. This is something that you needed. This is something that you wanted. This is something that you were longing for. And that in itself is just going to be so brilliant for you, because it's going to become a huge number one, huge start. That start, it's going to make you feel very creative indeed. It's going to make you feel free. It's going to make you feel very creative. It's going to make you feel really good. And also it's going to give you a sacred power. The sacred power that you are going to have on this particular day is just going to give you a certain shield and certain protection against somebody really bad, somebody really negative, somebody really low, that made you feel very unsatisfied, that made you feel really bad, that made you feel really low. You must have picked up on this particular person's energy, so you will be dealing with somebody, and that day it's going to be so good, and the outcome is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and it's going to surprise you in the best possible way, and you're going to gain something really important and very significant out of it indeed. The things are going to turn around, to have such a nice turnaround after this moment that you will not believe, in the best possible way, of course. The second date that I was going to say to you that is going to be really important is going to be on the 12th of July. Now, the 12th of July, it's like, oh my God, it's going to be the moment when you're going to be a little bit stroppy. And that moment that you're going to be stroppy, it's going to come from the fact that when you're going to just kind of like, you will feel like, oh, I want to just speed up with this part of my life. But it's just basically the realization that it's more important than anything else, and realization that it's all about the patience, okay? It's all about the patience, and it's all about the waiting a little bit more, but also you're going to realize that you're going to need to make certain edits. Now, this 12th of July is going to be very important to make certain edits, to change things, to try things slightly differently, things that you haven't changed in a long time, the things that you're doing always exactly the same. You're going to need to start changing, because that in itself is going to be the new starting point, and it's also going to help you, make you realize unrealistic attitudes and imaginations and daydreams and foolish whims when it comes, and wishful thinking when it comes to the particular person. The particular person is going to make sense. You're going to be a little bit disappointed about, because you're going to realize that there's somebody who's like a love of material wealth, you know, somebody who's like using people, very sad, somebody who's very miserable, somebody who's really bad is going to become the part of the situation. But you know what? On one hand, you're going to learn from it. On another hand, it's just going to be you're going to be quite pleased, because there is going to be, it's going to help you to make a certain decision, and the decision that you're going to make is just going to help you later on in your life. But if this person didn't like show up in the way they're going to show up, then you wouldn't be able to get to the part where you need to get, you know, in order to move on with your life. Okay, now the third date that was, sorry, on the 12th of July, that's another hand where I was saying to you that you see this person who's like a little bit negative, who's going to be around you on the 12th of July as well. Please, 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 my babies, keep certain things to yourself. Don't be too open. Don't talk about your personal things, personal problems, or financial information or something like that to anyone. Even if you try to be tricked into situation, even if you no, I meant to say like you will be like kind of, they will try to trick you into situation where you're going to think that they're really nice, they're really cute, that they're really sexy and all that, but you will know, you will know subconsciously that there is something quite wrong with them, and I can see this completely. So that's why I'm just saying that not to be tricked into the situation. They will try to trick you into a situation, but you will rise above it, and this is going to be really good for you because it's going to be an amazing starting point, and it's going to help you to move on with your life. If this didn't happen, you wouldn't. So this is going to be the speed of process of the certain problems that were in your life that came to an end, but you were just like kind of like still kind of trying, but it's just kind of not there anymore. Okay, so now the third important date that I was going to say to you, it's actually going to be on the 25th of July. Now the 25th of July, most certainly there will be the moment when you will feel like a little bit strange, and you will be part of the challenge, but you will have like a little difficulties because something is going to bring you down. It is not going to be the great day. Please, please, please remember, if you're on the 25th of July, you will be kind of tested, but it's going to kind of like make you realize that you're not having 100%. Sometimes we feel great, sometimes we don't feel that great, but how you go about things and how you do these things and how you go over these things is actually to be in the zone. You need to learn how to be in the zone and just do the best possible self, or make the best possible reaction to something without trying to hang on to the way you feel or like on these feelings or emotions. It's just remember what I always say, it's about a particular spiritual key. Once we have a spiritual key, we are absolutely fine, because no matter how tired or no matter how bad we feel, we are still going to be absolutely fine as soon as we use the spiritual key and just turn it like that and unlock the door. So this is going to be the situation on the 25th of July that you are going to have, but sadly it is not your time to kind of see this from a slightly different angle. So basically you will feel like it's a little bit of difficulties, like a launching new projects, and things like that, and you will be the part of the situation, but do not lose hope. Please do not lose hope, because you will be absolutely fine, and that in itself is going to be the new starting point, and it's going to make you feel really assertive, because your spiritual journey is just going to raise from one point to another, from one level to another, and most certainly this is going to be so good. First of all, it's going to confuse you and it's going to bring you down a little bit, but this is going to be so brilliant, because that in itself is just going to be the beginning of certain inspiration that you are going to have, and the inspiration that you are going to have as the time goes by, you will become more and more attracted to it. Now that is just going to, in itself, it's going to be absolutely great time to have a certain ritual. Please try to have a certain ritual on this day. All you need to do it's just like light a little candle on the 25th of July, light a little candle, take a little candle, as little as possible, so it doesn't last like forever. That's the point. It doesn't matter how big candle is, but as long as it comes to the end, burns until the end, then the wish goes to the universe, and then that's it, you see. So what you need to do, you send that wish to the universe, you see, and it's the beginning of unfoldment. So I would like to ask you to take like a little candle, tiny little candle, and anoint little candle with like a little bit of lavender oil on one side, second side, third side, and then write 3 things on that you would like to happen, that you would wish to manifest. But they must be good, they must be positive, and they must not like hurt someone else or being negative towards somebody else. It's just good, peace and good, okay, for manifestation. Otherwise it is not good. No baby, no. So you always have to do something good and something positive and something that is good, something like in this instance that is due to you, some certain wishes that you may have. 3 of them you write on these candles on each side, on this candle on each side of the candle, like let's say money, wealth, health, let's say, yeah? And then you put that candle on the table, and then you light the candle. The moment when you light the candle, it's very important, because I want you to like make a very strong connection with the candle, with the flame. At the moment, at the time you light the candle, you also light the candle and the flame within you, inside you. And that's the moment of a very strong connection. That candle becomes the part of you, that candle becomes you. And once it burns until the end, your 3 wishes are starting to manifest. This is so important to do, okay? You can say like a little prayer, you can say like a little affirmation while you're doing it. It's up to you, but it's just so important to sit down and concentrate and be part of this thing, you see. It's important to also be in the same room, to not to leave the room unattended, to not leave the candle unattended, to make sure that you're there. And once the candle is burned, you just get rid of things by going outside and finding some kind of place somewhere in the forest or somewhere that means to you a lot, and dig a little hole, that put remainings in the little hole, and at the end just put a nice little rock on top. The hole doesn't have to be too big, as long as you put it to be the part of the nature. You put it in the hole, you put like a little rock on top of the hole, like find a nice little rock that you find really close to, connected to, something that is calling you, it's calling you. This is how you make a connection. Look around, see which rock is calling you, and then go to pick up that particular rock and put it on top, and then you say bye, and that's it. Your manifestation is finished. On another hand, what else I was going to say, the 25th of July, it's also going to be the day, by the time this day happens, by the end of the day, you're going to have a control over a situation, you're going to gain certain strength, you're going to gain certain courage, you're going to gain certain confidence, because this is all going to come through the accomplishment, because through that day as well, throughout that day, you will be dealing with a bizarre situation, and the actual outcome is going to be quite good, and that is going to be the great accomplishment. So this is going to be, by the end of the day, on 25th of July, okay? And that in itself is also going to become a new starting point, okay? So now going on to the first part of July 2019, the very first day of July 2019 is going to be quite interesting for you, because you will be able to see like a little bit of a twilight zone here. You will be able to feel and sense this slightly different dimension, and to start with, you will be kind of start feeling drawn to like a stranger things, to unusual things, to the unusual people, to unusual situations, and that's exactly what you need to follow. That's really important, because this day, the 1st of July, you will be very strongly connected to your spirit guides, very strongly connected to your angels, and very strongly connected to the universe. So you need to watch for the messages like this, and the messages are going to happen and come to you in a form of like you feeling attracted to certain things, or you feeling drawn to certain things, and you being assertive to certain things, because the certain assertiveness is going to make sense, and that in itself is also going to be very much so connected to certain concentration and study. When it comes to teamwork, and when it comes to people, like the group of people is going to do something really big, group of people is going to do something really good, that you're actually also going to be the part of, and you're also going to benefit from this. On another hand, this is a really big completion that is going to happen, because you will see that there is an option that is going to become available here for you from this moment onwards, and you will be asked whether yes or no, whether you should do it something or whether you shouldn't do it something, and the answer most certainly is going to be yes. This is also going to be the time when you will want to take care of yourself, connect with the nature, reconnect with the nature. Very, very important throughout July, but especially at the beginning of July like this is going to be fantastic. There is going to be the challenge that you will be facing, and this is going to be connected to the certain person that means to you a lot, because there is some kind of problem with synchronicity. There is a synchronicity blockage that you are going to have, and you had so far, but you're still going to have here a certain blockage with somebody when it comes to certain relationships, and it's most likely to do with the synchronicity. So you will find this quite challenging situation, but then you're going to need to really do something about it, because otherwise things are not going to unfold the way they should unfold. You will be testing your power, it's going to be tested, your stamina is going to be tested, but this is really good, because this is something that you need to do. This is something that you must do. And you will see what I mean. You will see exactly what I mean. By the time we get to the second part of July 2019, it is all about a new inspiration. It is all about a new potential that you are going to have, which is going to make you feel really creative. And that in itself is just going to be brilliant. That in itself is going to be good. That is in itself is going to make you feel really happy. And you will do something really important, really big and really huge for you, but also for the people around you, like for your family, for the immediate people around you. Will do something very, very good for them, very big for them, and it's going to make you feel so good. When it comes to your practicality and security and money, this is going to be so good, because the problem is going to, certain problem that was bothering you, it's actually going to come to an end, because the financial situation is going to start changing here for the better. Okay, when it comes to the actual a certain worry that you had about the money and certain worries that you had about the finances, thank God that this is going to be the new starting point, because you will be able to relax after this point. You will be able to relax, and it's absolutely brilliant. There is the new stage that is going to be connected to this right at the end of July, and you will be the part of the competition, the certain competition you will be the part of, but this is more like in order to make a big change, because you are not part of this competition. If you don't do this, then you will not be able to do the certain change, to act in a certain way, to edit certain change and do certain change when it comes to home, big change and things like that. You have to remember at the end of July, just be compassionate, be very open-minded, be adventurous indeed. And there is going to be the moment when you will feel like you need to have a little bit of like a teacher, some kind of spiritual teacher. You will need like a little bit of advice, from some kind of a teacher, whether this is going to be directly to you or whether you're going to watch somebody like me. This is it depends how this is going to happen. However, you are going to get your advice, you are going to gain your advice, which is going to leave you with a couple of options. On one hand, it's going to confirm something to you. Now it's time. On another, now it's time, literally. On another hand, you're going to end up with a couple of results, couple of situations, two situations out of it, and that in itself is just, on one, it's going to reflect on your situation and your home, on somebody else, and the other situation is going to reflect on your finances, career, and things like that. Okay, an absolutely important time also when it comes to, like dealing with a certain problem, because there is going to be a little bit of situation that you're going to go through at the end of July, and somebody's just going to leave a little bit of bitter taste in your mouth, and they're going to make you feel like just a little bit angry. It happens. The situation is going to like arise, and it's just going to come out of the blue. It's going to happen out of the blue, and it's just going to kind of make you feel like, oh no, it is just something. It's going to change here at the end of July. Something the way you were planning to be, something what you were focusing on, something that you were thinking about. You see, it's going to change. But this is life. This is our spiritual journey. Our life is not always exactly the same how we want to be. Our lives are not always exactly the same how we plan them to be. There are lots of changes and challenges all the time that we need to face. We must face in order for our spiritual journey to go on the next level. So this is an important time of unfoldment and involvement as well when it comes to your spiritual journey. And the bottom line is, please listen to me very carefully, Pisces. You must not get too angry. You must not get too upset or anything like that. This is more to do with an anger. This is more to do with an upsetness, So let me tell you something. The most important thing at the end of July is, do not get upset or anything like that. Let me tell you, you are under some kind of a test when it comes to challenge, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to spiritual guides, and this is very important because your spiritual journey is going to evolve from one stage to another. Okay, so you must not be negative, you must not be angry, because our thoughts, our thinking, that energy, that creating a certain energy. So you need to remember to forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. Please try to remember this. Please try to remember this. Lots of people say to me, oh yeah, it's easy to say forgive and forget. Yeah, I know, I understand. Of course, it's a complex situation. It's a complex thing. It depends exactly what we are talking about. But what I'm saying to you, that in your instance, in this instance, times it's going to be important to forgive and forget, because that is going to bring you healing, and that healing that you are going to have, it's going to be massive. It's going to be the huge starting point, and this is going to be something that it's not only like a really help you with a certain completion when it comes to your life, when it comes to your spiritual journey, but it's the whole new karma and harmony that is going to come through. And it's also going to make you realize and make you be vigilant about a certain stage of your life, part of your life. It's about to unfold through this, but also, believe me or not, this is going to be completely connected to your personal success, to financial situation, and it's going to be followed by an authority figure who is actually going to praise you out. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. It's going to happen with the end of July. It's going to unfold with an authority figure who is going to praise you up, who is going to talk about you really nicely, and it's also going to kind of help you to go on the new stage. Something is going to be offered to you, and that in itself is going to be the beginning of something really big. The big wish is going to come through, big wish is going to come forward, and this is going to be absolutely amazing. If you're looking for a job, if you're looking for work, I'm telling you, my babies, like, keep on applying for as much as you can, because by the time we can get to the end of July, your life is going to start changing so much, because the bottom line is there is a life-changing opportunity, financial opportunity that is going to happen in July, and this is something that is going to go a long, long, long way. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Pisces, I'm going to shuffle this card, and I'm going to connect to those of you that are actually in relationship. And this is going to be an amazing month for those of you that are in relationship, because it's all about a certain journey. It's all about you making a really important decision. Something is going to happen when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your partner, and when it comes to you working on something for a long time together. There's going to be an important outcome that you're actually going to have, but that in itself is going to make you to reward yourself. So there's going to be an important journey that you are going to have, but I can't even explain how important this journey is going to be, because the outcome of that is going to be amazing. Once you go, you will see what I mean, because once you go to that trip or journey, you and your partner together, there is something going to unfold, something is going to happen, and it's going to be good, it's going to be significant, and it's most certainly going to be the time when some kind of important idea is going to come from it, happen from it. So I would say to you that any kind of trip or journey that you could plan with your partner, just go for it, because that is also going to result in you having a very, very quick, swift, and very powerful, amazingly fast change that normally it would take a really, really long time. But through this situation, this is going to have a super quick unfoldment. A very important time for couples, very important months for couples, because something is also going to be kind of like a proven to you, something that you knew, but this is really good, but you're also going to find out a really interesting part of your partner, okay, interesting side to your partner, something that they know how to do really well, and they really impressed you, but you didn't know this before. So that is going to be quite good, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to connect to those Piscelinis, my gorgeous Pisces that are actually single and ready to mingle now. This is a fantastic month. You are going to be meeting quite a few people, but most importantly, you will have a very strong and very powerful learning experience at around the time when you want to learn something new, at around the time when you're focusing on it, at around the time when you're thinking about it, at around the time when you're thinking about very strongly. There is someone that is going to become the part of the situation, and it's going to happen out of the blue. It's going to happen when you least expect it. So when you become the part of the certain, like a learning experience, at the same time somebody very special is going to come through, somebody very special is going to come forward. This person is going to be somebody who's going to have an amazing impact on your life later on, but also somebody who you're going to really like, and this person is also going to like you. Very smart, very clever, very intelligent, but it's not to do with their learning experience, it's not to do with their learning concentration, things like that. It's to do with you. Once you do something, once you make something physical, like when it comes to like a learning, once you make a certain journey, make a certain trip, this person is going to come through, this person is going to manifest, and this person is, yes, it's going to be very smart and intelligent, very clever, something to do with learning, like very significant. But to you, this person is going to happen, this person is going to manifest when you're focusing and thinking about a new learning stage, a learning experience in your life, and it's going to happen in such a way when you least expect it. But this is going to be just the beginning, so be prepared. to be swept off your feet, my gorgeous Pisces, because this is somebody who is actually going to stay. Okay, my gorgeous, beautiful, ever so precious Pisces, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, healing, love and light to all of you. Okay, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium.